And it would certainly be nice to have some local idea of which Google documents you're working on, but it should probably lead you to the Google site on the web browser. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do. It didn't do anything when I clicked on them.
I'm not sure, but in any case, I don't think we want to get tracker on the CD.
No, please let's not. This is madness. Also, I think the, was it Nickel also? They wanted to work on search. But yeah, anyway, so like we tried Tracker and Beagle and really didn't get a lot of good results feedback.
Yeah, I think as long as the kernel side is not fixed, like I want to try.
Yeah, first, well, it's maybe the kernel some kernel issues make it worse, but still the whole concept of indexing all your files and opening all your files, it's just creating such an enormous amount of I/O that.
It's only because of the kernel problems.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
it would only have to
regardless of what to do, you need to read the files.
Only once.
Yeah, and every time you change them as well.
Yeah, but that's not so bad, because you're not changing every file.
Yeah, but it's still like indexing a couple of gigabytes in a HOM directory is still going to take a while.
Only when you make changes.
Right.
If we had a good notification.
Well, even initially. Anyway, okay. So that's sushi. So I guess an interesting question is about, like, I think you raised something about Launchpad integration?
Yeah, should we like drop it this cycle?
Well, I'm all for this, but I mean, do we have permission to from like design or anything?
MPK said, yeah.
Like MPK said, we should be dropping it.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not like we're getting high quality bug reports out of this. And after release, I'm not sure how useful the translate this application is, but
yeah, Matthew was saying that it's not an end user like kind of thing. End user will not go to translate like application and Launchpad anyway.
I mean, the most useful thing would probably be the ask a question, but
MPT says I'd like Launchpad integration to die.
So violently agreeing, Matthew.
So we talked about is providing a different way for people to do that feature. People who are really interested in reporting bugs, maybe could install indicator Launchpad integration or something like that, where they could file bugs easily or translate easily. Because one of the things that's difficult for them is that they have to figure out what application it is and how to file that bug. And so you don't necessarily know how to get from a window on my screen that's broken to the Launchpad page for that app. And we need to make that transition easier. And that's the idea of what Launchpad integration is supposed to do, but it just doesn't work. We need a way for people to opt into that, not everyone get it.
Or is that maybe something which we could do like in gmenu or like debug menu instead of hard coding the patches into every application?
It's really hard to insert because you don't really know where things should go. Right. It kind of needs to be done by hand. I mean, you could tack it on the end of a menu that kind of looks like help, but we only get the translated strings, so you have to find the help.
Well, I guess it gets less of an issue in the hardware, I guess, because you don't care about the menu structure.
But I think actually making it like an indicator or an app indicator where it would show people who really care wouldn't mind having an extra icon on the panel, but it's Ubuntu bug icon.
But does that actually help if it's a separate indicator process?
Well, so my thought on it, and I don't want to monopolize the way it should be, but yeah, this is how MPT was and he wants an Xkill like one. I like the idea that there's an indicator that lists all the open applications.
Okay.
Like use BAMP, and Zilla just has a list of applications. You go and select to it and then say GA.
Well, okay. Semi-accept if like you might not know the name of the application.
Yeah, or have maybe selected at the bottom. Like it would have a menu of all the open applications in the bottom, maybe.
Yeah, but it's still.
Doesn't the launcher do that already?
The launcher does it, but
I mean, if it's
indicator did it.
For example, if it's like a notification from Evolution, like the alarm notifier, still wouldn't know what that is. Like Evolution alarm notifier might not give you enough clue to say this is the window I'm seeing or so. And the other issue, if you do it out of process, it's pretty hard to ask the application what the translation domain is, for example. I mean, there's certainly like if you do this out of process, you cannot. It's pretty hard to go into the application and ask it what the translation domain is.
Read out the distro file.
Isn't that what? I mean, isn't that an AppWorks hook thing? I mean, AppWorks hook will pull out whatever information you want, whether it's in the application or not. Right?
Do you need the domain? Don't you just need the package name?
Well, for getting help and so on, you don't need the domain. But if you want to help translating, then the domain is probably helpful.
Just translate all the domains in the same package, right?
I guess there's some heuristics where you can find that out. So it's not a blocker, I'm just saying.
Well, no, I'm just saying, just when somebody wants to translate an app, have them translate all the domains in that app, right?
But when we get that from, we know what application it is, we know what desktop file it is, and the desktop file has a domain in it. We know what package it is, and we know what.
Well, Evolution Alarm Notify probably doesn't have one, but at least we know which package that is from, so you can still translate the package.
But
so that's okay.
If it pops up, Amazon associated with desktop file, if it doesn't, we've got a bad UI in it, because it's going to show up with a crummy icon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but anyway, so there is ways to fix that, so that's okay.
All right, so the action is kill LPI.
Yeah.
Well, it's harder than that, right? We have to make this a lot indicator.
No, we don't. No, that's optional. But we're definitely getting rid of LPI, regardless of this indication.
Ubuntu Control Center.
I'm going to go through system settings.
Yeah, Ubuntu system settings.
Yeah. Is that something we need to discuss?
Yeah, I think so. So the idea basically is that Gnome Control Center would have no patches. It would just be stock upstream. And then we have Ubuntu Control Center, which is our patched version of it. And maybe we start maintaining that more like a fork rather than a set of patches.
I think that was the idea, yeah.
So who maintains that?
I think the systems team is willing to do that.
And I mean, if you use an actual fork instead of our Debian patches, I mean, an actual fork is a lot easier to maintain, like with Git and branches than.
Every time upstream changes.
Like from the desktop view, that sounds great. So
and also the nice thing is it puts the cost.
Yeah, I think Ollie said
like
that.
it puts the maintenance of the cost to the team that creates the cost. So
right.
they can optimize, like they can decide by themselves how much they want to divert and so on.
So can we make that decision without someone from the system team being?
Well, I thought it was
the
also
decision is already made.
I think we were
We're just like reporting it.
So we'll drop all the patches.
I want to aim for dropping all the GTK patches this cycle too, which means either upstreaming or either like deciding we don't need it because we're going to like do GTK module based approach, or like we have some things that we're doing things for weird reasons because like we have problems with grabs. And if we can get rid of some of those patches by changing the way that we do some of those things, that'd be cool too.
So would there be a less hacky way of having the scroll bars in GTK?
Of what?
Would there be a less hacky way of having the Ubuntu scroll bars in GTK?
Yeah, I've already been talking with Jimmy about this, and
It's already done. It's in the PPA.
Oh, okay. Because like the current way is really not bad.
Yeah, he has been developing with a patch, and he has done a GTK module, which is like loading and like on top.
Okay, well, that would certainly be helpful. There's certainly some generic fixes there, which just were a bit rotting in Bugzilla somewhere, but a whole lot of.
yeah, we want to. I'm going to try and push some of those upstream, the ones that make sense, and then we can, with the G menu model port, if we want to do that this cycle, the GTK Unity module code that's on Launchpad, it's already doing what you did for making the module, like the vtable hack thing, and it works just as well. So we can drop all the menu proxy patches as well.
Yeah, so GTK that would certainly be nice. But we just synced glib, by the way, so there's no Ubuntu change in glib anymore.
There is the one.
No, I mean it's synced with Debian now.
Oh, okay. What about the one for suppressing the warning messages?
I think that's in Debian. So it doesn't have zero patches, but we don't have zero Ubuntu. We have zero Ubuntu patches.
No, we did just for the warning for the new series.
Okay.
Oh, that too. Yeah,
for Q.
Yeah.
It's for Quantal, yeah, not for Precise. Precise
we still need to take care of that stupid desktop file translation.
Yeah.
But this is in Debian as well.
Yeah, I know, but
like pretty much all the distros.
Yeah, exactly. It really needs to go upstream.
Yeah, I mean it's sitting in the Bugzilla for like years.
So the thing blocking that is that I said I'd take it upstream if it becomes an XDG spec.
We asked back then, and they said no, it's not useful. We go.
No, Vincent said he would do it, but then he never did it.
Yeah, so back then when we asked for it to be added to the XDG spec, they said like it's too expensive and we don't want this. I mean, we only asked for it to be an option.
Yeah, but I talked to him last year at Desktop Summit, and he said he would do it at this point because everybody's doing it anyway.
Okay, at the time when we proposed it, nobody was doing it. So by now, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, but
and you even see this like
like
PolicyKit and so on still has the problem with static translations, so we have patches for those. But I think like G settings, I think got it right. So they have only have a pointer to the domain and not static translation. Yeah.
So is there any other packages which have significant patches?
Nautilus has quite some.
I wonder why that is.
Gnome settings theme.
Settings
Gnome settings theme is going to follow the fork of control centers.
Was not planned.
Because that's going to get hairy quickly if they don't.
Why?
Because like they're changing in offset a lot of the time. They used to be the same package, and they still behave quite a lot like they are the same.
Yeah, so GSD has a couple of reversions which we can probably get rid of in Quantal because we package systemd.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of Unity specifics here. So there's stuff like migrate background UI, which we can probably drop now because it was precise only, like upgrade issues. And this was something which should have been done upstream.
I think it might be a good idea to fork Gnome settings theme as well.
I don't think there's so many patches that we need to do.
That's a lot of patches.
Yeah, but like those are git backup, git, revert,
Yeah, but the
those are all the key
Yeah,
settings
like-
ones, right?
like Unity use application indicator was like a 36 kilobyte patch, but otherwise
Yeah, that's
it's
going
fairly
over
harmless.
time. Like Ted says, I'm going to do a keyboard indicator sometimes.
Hmm.
Okay. How about Nautilus? Let's go for some patches.
Which one, sorry?
Nautilus.
Oh, Nautilus, yeah.
It's mostly the desktop menu, I think.
Disable corner tapping, smaller synth name and timeout. Okay, there's mostly small adjustments, but again, the synchronous notifications patch is huge still.
Are you still looking at
Oh,
something
sorry,
there?
this is Gnome settings
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Nautilus is mostly...
Being able to type would help. Oh, I don't have Nautilus. Oh, it's yeah.
Can you go to that? Because I think you said that was conditional, and when I looked at it, it wasn't.
Yeah, so Nautilus seems relatively
I see
harmless.
it's just changing straight.
So the Unity launcher support patches, I guess, is the right click action.
Yeah, so that patch is kind of annoying.
Yeah, the desktop menu export is what it says.
Yeah,
And the rest again is relatively harmless again. I think.
The use Ubuntu help is bad because it's like unconditional. So even if you're in a GNOME shell session, it brings up like the Unity help and you press F1 in Nautilus.
Right.
What's he doing fix?
Not really, because it's like all over the place, and some is in code and some is in like not code, and I don't think it could all be easily conditionalized.
Maybe
Oh,
we should be
yeah.
smarter and like patchy help to be like changing the URL in Unity. Also like patchy the application.
Yeah, that could work. Have like a special like desktop help
Yeah.
thing that's like going one way or the other.
I still like the patch delete instead of control delete. Yeah. This is like a bike sharing we agree to disagree thing, but
Yeah.
I mean it really shouldn't be harder to safely delete a file than unsafely delete a file. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a small
Yeah.
patch, not like a big cost.
Can we get that like upstream as a G settings or something?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm surprised it is. It must be upstream as a G settings.
No, you can like change the accelerator from the menu.
So why don't we just do that?
Can you do it like from the system point of view?
The accelerators are in G settings, so it's just a G settings override. You change the default to the accelerator.
Is it going through G settings?
Oh, you mean it's like a GTK?
Yeah,
Oh,
accelerator.
yeah, that's a bit different.
What about no media profiles? Port, remember the thing that blocked us in the middle box there at the end? We never made it, it was never GTK3 port.
Yeah, it's like, seems like something nobody is working on
Yeah.
this. I'm not sure we can like take it on.
But we need it for next cycle. Like, we don't have any UI for tweaking any sort of rhythm involved. So
Tweaking the ribbon for it?
yes, if you want to change the rate, right now it just uses the old way we have the old profiles, but these for something now we don't have anything. We have really a static preset, main preset. You put it in. Just tweak that if you want to change the depth of your code.
Does GNOME design for that as well?
Well, that,
No, Gnome Media never got ported to Gnome 2.
Right, so I mean they just don't have that.
No.
Just don't have it.
They just like force a like bad default profiler with no way to change it.
So perhaps not. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I think that's one thing. But the other thing was what G streamer version is going to be in 12.10.
You mean like 1.0 or? still 0.10?
Yes, that's the question.
Is there a schedule for one?
I don't know, not much detail, but I think
Yeah.
The release candidate's out now.
Is
Okay,
Gnome
that
planning
sounds
to
good.
port applications this cycle?
I gotta imagine it will. I don't know of plans, but I gotta imagine it will.
Seems like it'd be a good idea to at least have it.
Do we have any code out of Gnome itself using JSON on the CD? Or is that like up to what Gnome is going to be decided?
I don't think there's nothing I know of class.
Well, there are some bits like session installer asking for codecs, but I mean, this is relatively easy to do. And in fact, it will be
That's
easier
true.
because like GStreamer 1.0 is introspectable and 0.10 isn't, so it will probably be a lot easier to integrate this with the session installer and code.
Yeah, so I guess it's mostly depending from upstream. I will take an action at a time to check like scheduling and not Gnome is
Yeah,
going to.
right.
Debian Experimental has an older version of what's targeted to be 1.0 for some of the packages. Plugins are all that.
Yeah, the Debian maintainer did ping me a few days ago. He said the new version is new in Debian, but I can like take it from the VCS if I want to. I might have a look next week.
Do we think we just?
Ubuntu TV would like that.
I guess so. It's about time now.
Ulysses 2?
Yeah, I'll make a note. So we packaged it in Debian now, and I think it's mostly all right.
Yeah, I've been running it as a PPA. Did you solve that thing where it wasn't like actually doing the thing properly if you dbus activated the service?
Yeah, that got fixed the day after.
Okay,
It was just a stupid little code problem. Missing $path or something. Yeah, I think there was, but yeah, that was fixed long ago. What I was actually going to, oh yeah, review the GTK patches, yeah.
Is there any stuff we can deprecate? GTK2, play, gconf, any of that stuff?
yeah, how's our gconf elimination going this cycle?
So this
We're going to be a hell of a lot closer because there's a lot of G7 porting last cycle that we held back on. And
not a lot.
yeah, there was like all the key binding stuff.
Yeah, it's like 2 modules. It's like settings daemon and content center.
And
And
evolution.
evolution data.
And also,
it'll be evolution this cycle.
Yeah.
So like really, there's very little in GNOME still using gconf.
well, I guess complet is.
That's
The
not
back
GNOME.
changing.
And they're
Oh,
changing out
finally,
this cycle.
nice, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be there.
Do you still have, well, I think Python GDK2 is still the default install. It's not on my install, but I think we still have some bits using it.
System config printer.
I guess that's not going to be in the default install anymore.
Well, I think the dbus API is, but this is actually a good thing. Do we want to use the, so I think GNOME Upstream is shooting for using the system config printer dbus logic, but they use the printer panel in Control Center. I think it's probably time to do the same. You probably should talk to Lars about it. Ah, there you go. So do you have any idea whether this is like sufficiently ready now?
It's not, but I'm trying to work with FMT and GNOME Designer Integrator.
Ah, okay. So this is a potential thing.
Good, like, it's not that much work, but like some stuff is just missing. Default options is like a big thing.
So like the dbus backend will stay and the UI will just use that, right? So that was the plan. But is it still? Okay. So this would get rid of the Python GDK2 portion of it. Could you try purging it on your machine and see what it's still doing? Because I don't have it for some reason. But yeah, so getting rid of this stack would certainly be nice. I mean, there can't be much left. Last time it was still Ubuntu as its own client and so, but I think it's fixed now.
So it's wanting to remove one conf for some reason, a la carte, pty, it's not on the CD.
Well, a la carte is
yeah, it's not on the CD.
GDK2 thing.
Yeah, Software Center.
What?
System config printer.
Software Center?
Yeah.
What?
IBUS.
Oh, IBUS. Oh, yeah. But I think there's a GDK3 port now. Oh, no, there wasn't. So there was ports for some of the systems, but not for a lot of the plugins. So I think I did some research about this like 2 months ago or so. So that's still a little behind. Software Center, why would it need Python GDK2? It depends on all of the GI stuff.
Debit and run conf, right?
Oh, one count perhaps.
Yeah, but
so
in
it's
fact,
indirect.
it was
So
an
for-
issue.
yeah.
It was a cleanup
We
leftover.
could get rid of
It's already
gconf
fixed in
next
Sario
cycle.
normally.
Good.
Fix that.
Yeah, there's like update notifier and update manager.
Fix that in Sario.
That's just about it.
Bad there depends.
Both of which I'm supposed to. I was planning to look at update manager this cycle.
Like there's almost nothing left using gconf.
We still have to ship it for the migration tool then, unfortunately, but we'd stop everyone using it.
I have some ideas where, like, I already modified the migration tool so that it's really using a much more limited subset of the gconf API, and we could modify it again so that it's basically parsing XML itself, and then gconf can be
gconf is not going to change.
because it's basically just using libgconf as a glorified XML parser at this point in time already.
That'd be nice.
Just one thing with that control center, I'm going to upstream that work I did last cycle. I think they're keen to have it upstream. Just fixing a few bugs and
This is the sound config stuff.
Yeah.
What's like still using Gnome DFS and like libgnome?
Gnome DFS doesn't necessity. It was up this cycle.
I think the last thing was LibreOffice, and that was fixed with the size.
Yeah. You think gconf is like you can?
I think gconf this cycle it's going to be the cycle.
So of course,
Update notifier and update manager.
Firefox and
We
GTK2.
can give that. I'll take that work out of here.
Chris, Firefox and GTK2, that's still,
I'm not doing anything more than that.
so we're going to be stuck to GTK2 for that.
Is it still using gconf or something?
stop. Or
Yeah, GTK2 is quite another story.
Yeah, it's GTK2 is not there now. It's like
well, at least Python GTK2 would be nice to get rid of, but
Yeah.
GTK2, well,
It's like
and gconf of course.
This is just installed. With
So it'd
gconf
be
installed,
nice
it's
to-
very small.
Try and reduce it.
Yeah.
And theming issue stuff.
Well, I mean, just by following upstreams, we're going to have it being reduced, right?
Okay.
Oh, GKSU. Still using gconf apparently.
yeah, but
We want to get rid of this one, yeah. I have to admit that the airport is one of the last things still needing it. And, so it's incredibly hard to use policy kit for this, but it's possible in theory, so it just requires some work.
So gconf, my list are the libg weather.
But yeah, I'll make
Does
a
it be
work item for this.
Thanks. Is it still being used?
I think so.
By-
Evolution.
Oh, and update manager needs GKSU and checkbox GK. Wow.
What's update manager mean? GKSU?
GKSU is still used by update manager. That sucks a bit. Could we use like session install or package kit or whatever app demo for this perhaps?
Isn't it like PKSU now or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's easier to use PKExec now. If for a particular program you can there's a magic flag
Like,
now
isn't that
which you
basically
can
supposed to
put
be a
the
drop-in
policy
for
file.
GKSU?
No, not really, because by default it doesn't export display and all this stuff. But you can tell the policy file to do that, and then add a privilege and like the usual way. So I think we should change update manager to this. For Airport it's slightly harder because hooks can do whatever root operations they want to do. So I need to think about having some wrapper there, which is of course a little silly because it would just have one particular policy kit privilege to basically say do whatever you want as root. I don't see how it otherwise would work in Airport.
Yeah, libg weather, but also
And checkbox GTK, update manager, and yeah, Airport.
That's
It's
fine.
basic.
Oh, I thought checkbox was moving to Qt.
Right. Why do I have checkbox GTK? Oh, it's not removed on upgrade, I guess. Yeah.
So I guess I could take an action to look at changing the migration stuff to like parse the XML directly.
you already want to keep gconf. So
Yeah.
Oh, who wants to
It's
maintain
about
it?
time.
Does anyone know how it works anymore?
What?
Does anyone know how it works anymore in case it would break? Exactly.
And like we have like really a lot of nasty stuff, like with the environment variables for like desktop specific custom profiles in gconf. Like good riddance.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do this?
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm happy to see it.
No, okay, no.
That was just a phase.
So we could talk about bringing something like that back for Unity
To get what I
and, you know,
want at the time.
like you know how right now we have we change a lot of we with overrides we're changing some things because they suit Unity better, like having Nautilus setting by default. We could make like a default database that has those overrides in it instead of doing it with settings overrides class, and then make that part of the default profile. Or like have a Unity profile or something like that.
So you can have profile per session.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know that's what I asked for 3 years now.
So we can do that with Recon, and it might be something we consider doing this cycle.
I put you like...
An investigator?
Yeah.
Any other agenda items? Was there anything else on the list?
No.
Well, UDD is still on the list, but well, my gut feeling is don't change it for now. Well, actually, we did discuss that yesterday, so we should move towards the UDD style branches for like indicators, everything which has full source anyway. So it's very little overhead to just import the pristine tiles and push to the push over the UDD branches, and then BZR BD-S will always do the right thing. So that seems...
Import the pristine tile. There is nothing to do for existing branch.
Do they already have pristine tile?
For all with merge upstream, yeah. So it's taking for the tarball and it's taking the upstream commits as well and applying that.
Oh, nice. So basically the only thing to do there is
push
over the branches and use
yeah.
them and change the VCS bazaar or just drop them.
Exactly.
Okay, well that seems reasonable to do that, I think, because at least it's a standard URL.
Yeah.
Okay. But like for the Debian only branches, like my gut feeling is we should just continue to use them for now until maybe the UDD front changes there a bit.
Yeah.
Not very fast on this. I mean, for everything which we regularly sync with Debian, we can use the UDD branches, GVFS or whatnot. But
yeah, I still like better the Debian and the branches for the stuff we keep working on.
Our problem is they are pretty much perfect, so there's no... something must be really, really good to make us use the others. Huh? Yeah. It's like you introduce all the pain with the patches and the slower performance. And I mean, merging with Debian, like I never use the automatic merges anyway, so I always look at the dep diff and see what is still relevant and minimize that. And it forces you to review the dep diff all the time instead of just keeping merging. And so, but yeah.
Yeah, I tend to take the summary from the last merge, look at like all the items there, and like check if they are still like valid.
Yeah, well, I just run through the dep diff between current Debian and current Ubuntu, and then see what's still left. There's often a lot of noise, like reformatting depend lines or updating build depends, and you can just use whatever Debian has there. So keep it small. But yeah, okay. Whatever other topics you guys come up with.
I was looking at the Gnome feature for this cycle, what's coming. There's nothing which is like impacting us. There's KDrive support for Gnome documents, but we are not using Gnome documents anyway. Focus card tracking in Gnome shell. Exchange support for Gnome accounts.
That's cool.
Help menus.
Yeah, Sean has the idea that he wants the help menu in each application, instead of containing a static set of items, to be dynamically populated depending on which Mallard pages are available.
Okay. So just like, yeah, it wouldn't conflict with anything we are doing.
Probably not.
Would it conflict with LPI?
Well, it would basically be another way of accomplishing what LPI did, because the way Mallard works is by back references. So instead of having like, here's a link to wherever, you define a section of links. And then in a page, you say this should appear linked from this page. So one of those things would be in the help menu of the application. So the idea is if you're a vendor and you want to do something like LPI, you can make like a launchpad page or something and say this would appear in the help menu of the application. Yeah. And you don't need to patch anything, you just add a file. So it's basically for this.
So that's the initial system setup thing?
not affecting it at all.
Yeah, it's going to go.
Well, I guess if it's there, we would just not package it. Or
It's going to go in GDM anyway. So.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, we have OEM setup and Ubiquiti, so I mean, once it's there, we can probably think about some maybe unification of some designs there. But I mean, I think still Mark's policy, no questions on.
Yes, I think it's better during the installation.
Yeah, that's not doing installation by any means, but I think they also mentioned that it would be used for OEM installs, like pre-installed. So where we use OEM config, then this might be a possible alternative. And if it's good, then it's certainly worthwhile taking a look at it. But of course, I'm not quite sure how much we had to adapt it to actually fit Debian Ubuntu instead of generic upstream things.
The thing is, it will only run if you run GDM, which we don't do by default. It's only going to matter to someone.
Oh, so GDM starts it, so it's not even using some planner.
So it's only going to matter if someone makes like a GNOME Ubuntu, then they might want to.
Yeah, well then then you probably even want it. So it's fine.
What's the story about getting some kind of GNOME reader on LightDM?
Then what?
It's totally feasible.
Yeah, because GDM is basically just running GNOME shell and GDM code, right? And LightDM could do the same.
Yeah. So you can either, what I was going to do is make a bridge that implements the GDM protocol, and then a long-term solution would be you GNOME shell to actually talk to LightDM.
It'd be cool if you could do that.
Yeah, I want to do that. I just do that time to time. It's totally feasible.
Yeah, magnifier.
I assume that's going to be in the shell.
Yeah, message tray in the shell as well.
Printer panel, we already talked about. Lock screen is in the shell.
Video application implementation.
Yes, that's like replacement for Totem or something.
Oh, turning Totem to video is like this new design.
There are some issues like lock screen and policy hidden there. They're both abandoned upstream, so we now are responsible for those. So we're keeping policy at home working?
Well, I certainly hope we do.
What? They don't use it upstream, it's gone.
Is it like...
Oh, yeah, well, but I mean, we still need to keep it
plan. We're not going to put it into Unity. We're not going to integrate it into Unity.
Well, I mean, you still need it for fallback session as well, I guess, and I guess the Ubuntu guys need... let me check.
Well, I guess fallback session is going way upstream as well. So once LVM works, they're going to drop fallback.
Is there any way to get it like in here?
Oh, I'm just saying we have to do something about it. Are we just going to keep the current code forever, or are we going to...
I would keep the current code, like it's working.
Right.
Maybe try to push for the design changes. You had like 2 cycles today. Do you want to overlook this cycle?
I guess it...
Was there anything like left, or was that like blocked on upstream, like comment?
So we just fork policy, we might as well. We're probably going to assume.
So like it's also being used in Ubuntu for XFCE, and at Ubuntu, okay, they are using 2D or something like with Ubuntu. Not sure what they are using. No, it's pretty much everywhere. Studio, Ubuntu. So yeah. But as long as the protocol doesn't change, I mean, it's proven code and works. And it's low maintenance. So.
I think Robert did want to add like passing the exciting.
NPT had some requests for it.
3 minutes left in the session.
Yeah.
It is a full. So bad that this is gone. Like I pity the fool who doesn't pay attention to the timeout also. Like the huge MDZ picture.
That only turns up on Fridays.
Yeah, it was on Friday.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you've still got.
We didn't have them last 2 years. No, it wasn't the year before when MDZ.
In particular, I think you had the request for policy kit dialog, making it look more usable. So we're talking about, because that's basically been abandoned upstream, we can probably just make those changes and live with them.
No. Well, it's still being used in Debian as well. So for pretty much any non-GNOME session, you still need it. Okay. Seems there's enough to do anyway for a second. Well, this and port all the remaining stuff to Python 3. Wasn't my idea, but yeah, I guess at some point we need to. All right.
Thank you.
Coffee break.
Sid, can you put everything on that task as well? On the pod.
Oh, yeah.
All right, free slot. You might try and find Ollie again.
There's no GPS indicator.
No, I think I'll just. Oh, wow, we have this map tool.
I think I
right?
should like seriously consider requesting
Well, map can send us in this.
under use incentive cycle because all of them.
You don't know? No. Oh, how can you not?
I don't think it's going to work well.
Like, is it the canonical channels?
Yeah, but you mean for getting the
The contact data.
contact data. Yeah.
So how?
Contact
Nice.
settings on
It seems to be like it randomly drops.
SMS.